Hello, everyone. Good morning, and welcome to the morning ABAP ritual, where we are learning about ABAP, ABAP related technology like ABAP or HANA, OOPS ABAP, OData, workflow, ALE IDOC, related interview questions and answer to just have command over there and to be excellent in those technology. So why this ABAP ritual is for the self growth. We don't have to ignore our potential. We have massive potential because we all are soul, and soul is unlimited. Soul is having immense potential. So we have massive potential. We have to keep our self esteem and self confidence up in our day to day project life, day to day development life. We have to be competent in the marketplace. We have to get mastery in the interview questions and answer. And for this, we should have a strong fundamental of ABAP and ABAP related technology, mainly ABAP. We must have good command in ABAP. Help and contribution and the health, of course, is going to be our topmost priority. We have some affirmation in order to have the better career growth. Don't ignore easy and frequently asked the question. Have proper attention on that. Never have regular practice of the niche question. Use the social media services like Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram intelligently. Declutter the digital space, mute unnecessary notification, and manage your email notification with the help of this particular website. Very good on roll.me. Soft skill is more important than the technical skill. Very true. Whatever technical skill we have, if we want to convey to other, the soft skill required. Helping and contributing to society is the key for success. Again, health here also is very important. Never ever ignore physical health and mental health both. For the physical health, let's do the yoga, walking, gym, marathon, game, whatever we like. And for the mental health, breathing practices, meditation, spiritual practices, and association with the right people with right mindset is going to help us. Today, we are going to start with the OData interview questions and answer. Already, we have completed ABAP in detail, complete set of interview questions and answer we have completed. Then we completed OOPS ABAP in detail, and then we have completed ABAP on HANA in detail. So these are the subjects related with ABAP we have already completed in last 1.5 month around, or maybe 2 months. And now this is the time of OData related interview questions and answer. So let's first try to understand your opinion about OData. What's the full form of OData? Just write here in the chat box, what's the full form of OData? What do you understand from OData? So OData is nothing but open data. Yeah, awesome. Open data. Okay. It's a protocol, open data protocol. OData is nothing but open data protocol. What is protocol? What is protocol? Okay. So what is protocol? Protocol is nothing but set of rules, right? Good, Vikram. Protocol is nothing but set of rules. So whenever we talk about protocol, that means some set of rules are there, some set of rules are there. So here we have covered two interview questions. One is what is OData? So OData is nothing but Open Data Protocol. Another question is what is protocol? Protocol is nothing but set of rules. Okay. Now, why this OData is required? Now the question is why this OData required? So OData is required for the purpose of web services. OData is required for the purpose of availing the web services. What is web services? What is web services? What is web services? How would you like to define? How would you like to define the web services? Whatever your idea, just write here in the chat box. What do you understand from web services? Okay. As it's a semantic meaning concern, the one who provide the service on the web or to the web. The one which provides the service on the web, or you can also tell to the web, all right, or to the web. What is web? We all know what is web. Web is nothing but internet, right? So when we are having the Google Chrome open over here, right? When we have the Google Chrome open over here, so if you could see my screen over here, right? I'm just sharing my screen of this Google Chrome, and you can see over here that here we type some URL, right? Uniform Resource Locator. So whenever we type some URL, right? Whenever we type some URL, it requests some data or it requests some service. So for example, let us suppose you have the, let's suppose you have here SAP application server, right? Here you have SAP application server. Now, what you want, that you want to get some data from SAP application server. And of course, SAP application server will not give you the data directly. It will fetch the data from some database, right? It can be HANA database, Oracle database, whatever database. It can be any kind of database. Okay. So here you can see that this application server is associated with a database, is connected with the database, and now your internet, your Google Chrome, your browser is asking some data. Let's suppose list of all purchase order. List of all purchase order is required by the Google Chrome. Okay, this is our Google Chrome. Let's assume that this is our Google Chrome. Okay, this is our Google Chrome, and we have opened the Google Chrome over here. Okay, we have opened the Google Chrome over here, and just a second. So here you can see that. Okay, this, I was drawing this diagram over here. I think you would not be able to see this PPT when I was drawing this one. So this is our application server. This is the database, right? And this is the Google Chrome. Google Chrome is requesting the data from this application server to fetch the data from the database, right? But directly application server will also not provide the data to the Google Chrome browser. Okay. Directly also it will not provide. In between, there is one more layer that is called the gateway, SAP gateway, NetWeaver gateway, SAP NetWeaver gateway, SAP NetWeaver gateway. Okay, SAP NetWeaver gateway. So what's the use of this SAP NetWeaver gateway? So gateway is for the purpose of serving the web services. Okay, gateway is u- gateway is used to generate the OData services. Through the gateway only, this Google Chrome can communicate with the application server with the help of OData services. Who uses the OData service? Who created the OData services? SAP NetWeaver Gateway. This middle layer between application server and the browser. Okay, the browser. So this can be browser. This can be your any kind of web application, .NET web application, Java web application. Okay, so any kind of another web application can access the data from the SAP system using the OData service. And in order to implement the OData service, you must have the system in place called SAP NetWeaver Gateway. Okay. Again, this Netway, SAP NetWeaver Gateway is of two types. One is embedded and another is central. That we will see later. But here the purpose is to understand what is web services, what is OData, right? So web services means this Google Chrome. This is Google Chrome. Okay, this is Google Chrome. This Google Chrome is going to have the request of data from this application server through the web services. Okay, and who will generate the web services? Who will generate the web services? So web services is generated by set of rules. Web services is generated by set of rules. That means web services is generated by protocols. Web services is generated by protocols using the programming languages. Okay, it can be any kind of programming language, right? So how web services generated? How web services generated? So first we understood that what is web service. What is web service? So web service is nothing but whenever you require the data from the application server layer or from any system. It is not like only about the SAP system only. Okay. So whenever your internet, whenever your browser is willing to communicate with any system, and if it requires some service from any system, then it requires the web service. Okay, so what is web service? So whenever your browser, this is my browser. Okay, this is my Google Chrome browser or Internet Explorer or Mozilla Firefox, any kind of browser. So whenever my client, this browser is also known as client. Okay, so whenever my client is willing to access the data from the third party system, this can be SAP system, this can be Java based system, this can be .NET based system, this can be any kind of system. Okay, Oracle system, or any kind of system. Okay, so whenever your browser is willing to have some data from any kind of system, then it requires the web services. It runs the web services, and web services pulls the data from the system. Okay, so now what is the web service we understood, right? This is going to be, this is going to provide the service to the browser, the service which runs on browser, that is known as the web services. Now web services is generated by some set of rules using the programming languages, right? Web services is nothing but a software. It's a tiny software. Okay. It's a piece of code which is going to create in form of object, and that we are going to call as a web service, right? So web services are going to be generated by protocols, okay, by set of rules. So there are two types of web services, okay. There are two types of web services. So another question is how many types of web services you have, right? Another question is how many types of web services you have. So there are two types. One is SOAP based web service, okay, and another is REST based SOAP service. REST based SOAP service, okay. What's the full form of SOAP based soft service? SOAP is nothing but a protocol, okay. Based upon the protocol we are going to create the web services. REST is also nothing but it's a architectural protocol. So whenever we are going to tell the architectural protocol, what is the meaning of that, we will understand. But at this point of time, just let us understand web services can be created using two protocols, using two set of rules. One is the SOAP based, means using the SOAP protocol, and another is REST protocol. Okay. First one is the SOAP protocol and another is the REST protocol, right? So web services can be created using two protocols, right? Now, who will tell me what is the full form of SOAP? Hmm? Just write here in the chat box. Just right here in the chat box, what do you understand from SOAP based web services? SOAP. Okay, just write here the full form. Let's suppose I am your interviewer and I'm asking the question to you. Tell me the full form of SOAP. SOAP. So what will be your answer over here? Just I would like to see here in the chat box. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Yeah, fantastic. Simple object access protocol. Simple object access protocol. SOAP. S means simple, O means object, A means access, and P means protocol. Okay. So simple object access protocol. Okay. Simple object access protocol. Some people by mistake tell service oriented architecture protocol, which is not correct. Even I used to also tell service oriented architecture protocol few years back, but then I realized I'm telling wrongly. Its correct full form is simple object access protocol, right? Simple object access protocol. So web services can be created using two protocols. One is SOAP and another is REST, REST based, using the REST protocol. Okay. So here I'm just going to writing uh, REST protocol, and here I'm just going to write SOAP protocol. So now you understood these two things, right? Now, what is SOAP and what is REST? So in OData, generally we'll come across the theoretical question more by the interviewer. So all these questions what we are discussing is very, very important. Understand the concept, you will be able to crack most of the interview related with OData, right? So these are the important questions. There are no so many questions in the OData. There are around, I think there will be 30 or 40 questions which are very frequently asked and very important. So those only we are going to cover. People also ask what is SOAP protocol and what is REST protocol. What is the difference between them? Which is better? what is the benefit of SOAP protocol, what is the limitation of SOAP protocol, what is the benefit of REST protocol, and what is the limitation of REST protocol. In OData, which kind of protocol you are going to use. So such kind of question is going to come. We are going to give all these kind of question. So let's make it in form of a story so you will be able to remember for longer, and concept will be more better than simply giving the answer. Okay, so what we understood as of now, web services can be created by the two protocols, SOAP protocol and REST protocol. Now let's try to understand which protocol came first. Okay, just tell your answer. Just tell your answer. What do you think about the SOAP protocol? SOAP protocol came first or REST protocol came first? Which one is the older protocol? Awesome. Yes, Om Prakash, thanks. So SOAP is the old protocol and REST is the new protocol. Very good. Now this SOAP protocol, if we talk about the simple object access protocol, then what is this? How, with the help of SOAP protocol, messages are going to communicate with this system, right? This is your client. This is our client. This client is going to communicate with the system using the SOAP protocol. Using the SOAP protocol. So mainly what we are communicating, how the browser is going to communicate with the system, right? How the browser or client is going to communicate with the system, right? How the browser and client is going to communicate with the system, right? It's nothing but exchange of messages, right? Exchange of messages. Messages are what? Messages contains the data. So whenever you want to have the list of purchase order, you are going to send the request from this browser to the system, that system, please give me the set of purchase orders. So there will be some form, right? There should be some template in which the browser is going to send the request to the system, and system again is going to give back the response in some form of template, right? In some of template. So how that template is going to look like, right? How that template is going to look like, how the data representation is going to look like, right? How the data representation is going to look like. So in SOAP protocol, can you tell me how the data is going to be represented? XML, extensible markup language. SOAP protocol SOAP protocol follow the XML way of representation, right? SOAP protocol follow the XML way of representation. That means it will be having the header segment, it will be having the item segment, right? It will be having the header segment and it will be having the item segment. I believe all of you know about the XML, right? So XML is the universal standard to communicate between different systems. XML is the universal standard to communicate between different systems. So XML is the most appropriate way of communicating between two systems. So protocol supports the XML message. So protocol supports the XML way of formatting. Using the XML message, we define the data so that the browser can put the request to the system, and that specific language is known as WSDL, Web Services Definition Language. That is nothing but XML only. WSDL is nothing but it is represented with the XML only, just a specific term to the SOAP protocol, which is used in order to send the request and get the request, right? The web services definition language, it name itself, you can see the name, web services definition language, the language which is going to define your web services, right? And that is nothing but your XML. Okay, that is nothing but your XML. So using XML, we create, we put the information, into package, into envelope. So here one interesting point. Here we have one interesting point. What is that interesting point? Whenever we have to send the message, what we do, whenever we have to send the message, let's suppose I have to send the message to my wife, right? And I don't have internet, I don't have email, I don't have mobile. So I'm talking about the scenario 25 years back. So we are here in the 1995. Okay. Let's suppose you were here in the 1995, 25 years back. You have to write some message and you have to send to your beautiful wife that message, and you are thinking how to send, right? How to send. So suppose if you have less amount of information, right? Suppose if you have less amount of information, what you will do that, what you will do that, you will buy a postcard. 25 years back, we used to have the postcard a lot, right? We'll buy a postcard and we will simply write the message on that, and on the other side we will write the address and we will send. That's the postcard. But if you have large amount of information, what you will do, you will buy a envelope. What you will do, you will buy a envelope. On the envelope you will write the address, and inside the envelope you will write the content in a page, right? And you will put that page inside the envelope, correct? You will put the page inside the envelope. This is your envelope. This is your envelope, and inside this envelope you have the page over here, right? So this is the page. Let me, this is the page. Okay, and the green one is your envelope. So inside the page you have the content, right? Inside the page you have the content, and here on the top of envelope you are just writing the address and all. Okay, so your SOAP protocol is similar to this envelope. Your SOAP protocol is similar to this envelope. You are writing the address and all in this envelope, right? So let me, yeah. So this is your envelope address you're writing. Inside this page, you have the content. Okay. So you can resonate your SOAP protocol with envelope. Okay. You can resonate your SOAP protocol with envelope. On the other hand, REST protocol can be resonated with the postcard. Okay. Single postcard. That postcard contains the address as well as information, right? As well as information. So we understood some points over here. So protocol, the language what it uses is known as WSDL. In REST protocol, there is no such kind of language, right? There is no such SDL over here. There is no such SDL over here. So here, no WSDL. Okay, here you have the WSDL, but here there is no WSDL. But how the data is going to get exchanged? Here the data is going to get exchange using the XML, using the XML and JSON format. Both is supported by the REST protocol. By REST protocol, XML and JSON both is supported, but there is no such specific language like WSDL in the REST protocol. Okay, there is no such specific language like REST protocol. Okay, so uh, just a second, her case is telling something. Yeah, yes, Sarkis, I have unmuted you. You were writing that EW, is it the language used by Odata?
Yes, Odata use the EDMX format, just like WSDL.
WSDL, is it?
Just like SOAP
Mm.
use the WSDL and Odata use the EDMX format.
Okay, okay, fine, fine. Thank you for sharing this knowledge. So here it does not use the WSDL, but it uses the EDMX. That's right. Yes, it uses the EDMX, and EDMX supports both this XML and JSON, right? So here I'm just going to write the EDMX, EDMX, okay, EDMX. So you would have seen that EDM.string entity data model, right? So EDMX, so it uses the format called EDMX. Now, another point over here with the SOAP protocol, we have, right? It is like envelope. The it is like envelope. And if you consider this REST protocol, it is like a postcard. It's like a postcard. Okay. SOAP protocol, the full form is object, simple object access protocol. And here, what is the difference? Here, what is the full form? Representational state transfer. Representational state transfer, right? Representational state transfer, the full form. Okay, which will carry more information. Obviously, SOAP will carry more information because it is having the, in one go, it can carry more information, right? Because we are just resonating with the envelope, right? And it is the postcard. So this REST can also carry the more information, but your postcard should be longer, right? But if you just compare with the SOAP protocol, it is having the inbuilt functionality to carry more information, right? So here, just write that more information. And here with the postcard, comparatively means it's not the inbuilt functionality, right? However, it can also carry the more information. It can, so maybe this point is not relevant. Let me remove this point. Okay, another point, from the security point of view, which one do you think better? Which is having more inbuilt security? Envelope will be having the more security, right? Or your postcard will be having the more security? Who will tell? Your envelope, whatever the content you are sending through envelope, that will be more secured, or the content through the postcard is going to be more secured, right? Who is having the more security option? Of course, your SOAP protocol, right? More security. Envelope, because inside envelope you are going to put the content, and because of that, the SOAP protocol is going to give you the more security. Here, if you compare less security, you have the less security over here. Now, You can see that it's the postcard. It is in the form of postcard. So the as soon as the system receives the request from the browser using the REST protocol, right? System does not have to remove the envelope because it is a postcard, right? And it has to read the data. It will start reading the data, whatever the information written on the postcard, right? But here, if you can see that inside the envelope, first it has to unwrap the envelope, right? First it has to tore the envelope, right? And then it has to get the page and it has to read the information, right? So it has to unwrap the envelope first. So what do you think, which one is going to be more fast? The envelope one is going to be more fast, or the postcard one is going to be more fast? What's your thinking on this? What's your response on this? Okay, so first it has to, yeah, so postcard one is going to be more faster, right? So that's why this one, the this one is the faster. That's why this one is the faster. This is the slower. Okay, this is the slower. Now, who is having the lightweight, right? Who is having the lightweight? Postcard will be having the lightweight, or envelope will be lightweight, right? Obviously the postcard is going to have the light weight, and this envelope is going to have the heavy weight, right? So some of the point you understood well over here. So now in the interview, if someone is going to ask what's the difference between SOAP protocol and what's between the SOAP protocol and REST protocol, now at least you will be able to give some answer. But one of the very important question over here, what is the representational state transfer? Okay, so see, this rest is, you know, the stateless protocol. REST protocol is the stateless protocol. This SOAP is the stateful protocol. This is confusing. This is confusing. What is a stateless? What is a stateful? Very confusing. At least I have been confused so much in initial 1 or 2 year with this stateful and stateless. I went through a lot of blogs, a lot of Quora questions, and there still I was not able to understand this stateful and stateless completely. Okay, but I came to understand gradually this stateful and stateless through some YouTube video. One of the video on the YouTube from the Anvo Oberoi, that is very good video. There also it is nicely explained about the stateful and stateless. I have kept the link in the later slides and I will share that link over there. And this particular PPT and all is from his video only. That is the public video, so I was able to take the screenshot and all, and he has shared the slides as well, PPT, so there is no problem of taking the screenshot and all. So I have just taken, the credit goes to the Anvoser videos. This video nicely explained about the stateless and stateful and the difference between REST and SOAP. I would highly recommend to go through this video. I'm just going to give the link. If you can go and watch out, very nice explanation is there, and you can just learn so many things from there. Okay, fine. So we understood couple of things. Let's try to understand this stateful and stateless. So the meaning of stateful means, whenever we talk about the stateful and stateless, it comes with the session, means a stateful session and a stateless session. Okay. So when your browser is going to be connected with the system, when your browser is going to be connected with the system, what is going to have, both is going to be connected with each other with a session. It establishes a session. Okay, so when the communication happens, it establishes a session. If it is the SOAP based protocol, the session is going to be established permanently until and unless your request goes there and response is completed fully. Okay, so the session is this system is going to have the user information. Certainly some user will be requesting the information from the system, right? So this system is going to hold the information of the user until and unless complete request is going to be over. Okay, so that's the meaning of stateful. That's the meaning of stateful. So whenever the user is going to send some request, system is going to give back the response over here. But once the response is received, it is not necessary that session is going to be removed until and unless system is until and unless the user is going to log out from the system. Okay, till the user is connected with the system, the connection between user and system is going to be established even the response is completely come out. So what I mean to say over here is that here the request is going to have, and here we are going to have the response. So even the response is completely came, even the response is completely came, right? Even the response is completely came. It is not it is in case of SOAP protocol, the session is not going to be completed. No, the session will be still there. It will be connected with the browser and system. The benefit of that, the benefit of that will be, the benefit of that will be, the system will be having always the user information. The system will be having always the user information. If it is the SOAP protocol, that means if it is the stateful means it's going to have the state always of the user until and unless user is completely log out from the system, even the response is completed. Okay, even the response is completed. So that's the meaning of a stateful session. A stateless session means when the user is going to have the request, system keeps the user information at that point of time, and when it sends the response, when it send back the response at as soon as it sends back the response, it removes the session of the user. It does not hold the user session, right? So by this way, system overhead is less, system memory consumption is less, memory system resource utilization is less, right? So the stateless means that as soon as user is going to get back the response, the system will not hold the session. System will not hold the user information. System will not have the connection still established with the user. It will release the, you know, it release the tightness. It will release the strictness. It is not no, it is loosely connected. It will not hold back the information of the user as soon as the response is completed. When again, the user is going to give the request, the system will capture the user information, right? System will capture the user information. So every time for the system, it is a new request. Every time system considers that user as a new request, right? Then you might be thinking, then the SOAP is going to be efficient because every time system has to consider the previous user as a new user, right? So if something already has come over there and system, right, is not able to recognize and again it considers as a new user, then from performance point of view it is not good, right? So if you consider in that way, obviously from performance point of view, rest is not good, but we have a workaround, right? But we have a workaround. At the browser side, we have a concept of cookies. Okay, we have the concept of cookies at browser side. These cookies will hold the information of the user, right? If you remember, whenever we go to some new site, right? Whenever we go to some new website, it will ask that please enable the accept the cookies so that you will be having the better website experience, right? So this cookie will hold the information about user. Okay, and when the next time you are going to send the request, this cookie is playing the important role because it is already having the information about you. So it's going to communicate with the system effectively, and by that way you are going to improve the performance using the REST protocol, right? So it's not going to have the user information permanently in case of REST protocol, right? So you can see when the work is over, you are going to release back the information, right? So that's why the REST protocol is a lightweight protocol. That's why the REST protocol is the lightweight protocol because it does not keep the unnecessary information permanently. Whenever it requires, it just hold the information and again release back. So by this way, if you are going to use the REST protocol, multiple web requests can be solved, you know. So if you have a small system and suppose 100 soap protocol is being served by the a small system, then using the REST protocol you can serve 1,000 requests. So using the SOAP protocol, you are serving only 100 because when you have the SOAP protocol, it is a stateful, and in case of a stateful, system has to hold the information of the user every time, right? And because the system is a small, it is having the less memory to hold the information every time. But the same system, if we are going to use for the REST protocol, because it's not going to hold the memory permanently of the user, right? It will quickly release the memory, it will quickly release the system overhead. So so here you are having the 100 requests, here you can have for the same system 1,000 requests. So that's where the performance you are going to improve, and that's why SAP also adopted REST protocol over SOAP protocol for the OData. However, in PI, they are using the SOAP protocol now also. Okay, it's more secured. So in the banking transaction and all, generally people prefer for the SOAP protocol because it's very secured. For REST protocol also, there are so many mechanisms to improve the, like, HTTPS. So here we forgot to write one important point. It runs over the HTTP, then FTP, then SMTP, and this only runs on HTTP. Okay, HTTP and HTTPS. So REST only run on HTTP protocol, but the SOAP protocol runs HTTP, FTP, and SMTP. Simple mail transfer protocol. FTP stands for file transfer protocol, and HTTP hypertext transfer protocol. Right? Go through the link which I have shared, very important. Your concept will be very much clear if you go through that video. In his own word, you will understand how he is trying to explain about the, he has taken one very nice example of his friend who is going to coffee shop every day. So just go through that video, you will understand in more detail, and it will go into your subconscious mind more deeply. Okay. Now we understood all the important aspect of the SOAP protocol and REST protocol. Let's go through the slides which I have prepared over here. What is protocol? Protocol is set of rules. What is web services? One which serves the web, a service made over the web, right? We just understood, and the same thing I have written in the slides. Okay. What is OData? OData stands for Open Data Protocol. It is open standard to send the data back and forth between two systems where REST using HTTP, right? So REST use only HTTP. Okay. It follows the REST standard. OData. What is OData? OData is nothing but a protocol which follows the REST standard, representational state transfer standard. So it's part of the REST protocol. OData is based on the REST protocol. Okay, REST. It's the architectural design This is more like design. This REST is, some set of rules is there which is going to be followed by the OData. So OData comes under the umbrella of REST protocol. Okay, so OData is completely based on the REST protocol. Okay, so OData contains the service document, which is a collection of entity sets. This will understood what will understand what is entity set, what is entity type, right? So just this is the answer of OData. Each entity set is used to perform the CRUD operation, create, read, update, and delete operation, right? An entity set is used to create with the help of entity type, right? So entity set, when you want to create, you must require a entity type. We'll see later all these things. What is entity type? What is entity set? Entity type is template of any entity set, right? So here you understood. Now what is the SOAP? Full form is simple object access protocol. It is a stateful protocol with below characteristics like envelope, inbuilt high security feature, heavy no good performance, HTTP, SFTP, FTP, just we have written, XML based protocol, stateful, right? So the same thing I have written over here, nothing more. An illustration how SOAP works. So how SOAP works, this is the SOAP request goes, and this is in this format. You can see that in this XML format request is going and response is coming back in the XML format, right? Here you can see one Wikipedia example I have taken over here in order to demonstrate the uh, SOAP, in order to demonstrate the SOAP. Here you can see that this is the address section. This is the address section, right? So on top of envelope, you are writing the address. Then you have the header section over here. This is the envelope, right? This is the envelope. This is the header, and inside the header, you have the body and all these things, right? So here you can see the envelope. Inside the envelope, you have the header and body. So this is the architecture for the SOAP. What is REST? Like postcard, not no that much secured comparatively, workaround is required, right? Lightweight, super performance, only HTTP. It is supported by only HTTP, right? Or HTTPS, right? uh, Architectural based protocol, it's more oriented towards architecture, right? Uses cookies to give the better user experience. Okay, what is a stateless communication? We understood what is stateless. What's the meaning of stateless? Just go through the slides. What's the difference between SOAP versus REST? Here also I have written in these beautiful slides. And here, this is one very good example. If you go through that video, you'll understand. Okay, so see here, this is the SOAP, right? This is the SOAP here. This is the HTTP. This horse is representing the HTTP. This REST, this is the REST protocol. On the horse itself, this rider man is there, right? This, you can compare this rider man as data information. So information is sitting on the postcard, right? This horse can be compared with the postcard, and this person can be compared as an information, right? And this postcard is carrying the information. Here you can see this horse. This horse is what? This horse is your this horse is your, you know like a, how you can compare over here. Here you have the people, right? Here in the cart you can have the multiple people over here, and this horse is carrying the multiple people inside the cart. So cart can be compared with the envelope over here, right? And here this is the HTTP. So here it's in there, right? So HTTP horse is like a HTTP protocol, and this horse is I'm just resonating with the postcard who is following the HTTP protocol and carrying the information of this person. So this person we can compare as the information, right? So this is again a very good example over here, right? This cart, this horse, this HTTP is carrying the whole bunch of information inside this envelope, right? So this is the SOAP protocol. Now example 2, SOAP versus OData. See here, this is, so SOAP we understood. This is SOAP means envelope and REST means postcard, right? And here the technical comparison, the one what we have seen all these things, right? Everything is this one only, nothing more than that. But this is very beautiful slides I have taken from his video. Okay, and it was allowed over there because he was sharing that, and it's public, so I have just taken. Okay, where does industry standard? So here you can see the soap is 18% used, and rest is going to be used by 73%. Rest is going to be used for 73%, right? So 73% uh, people follow the, 73% industry use the rest protocol. So I'm done for the today ABAP ritual, where we have seen the basics of OData, and tomorrow we will see some more stuff in the OData. Whatever we discussed today is very, very important in order to understand the OData in detail and in deep. It's very, very important. Okay, now I'm just going to send you all in the breakout. You just have quickly over there 5 minutes of learning whatever you have, whatever you understood. Just have 5 minutes. That will be, I think, more than sufficient. Okay, so I'm going to quickly create the uh, and if you have any question, we can discuss tomorrow in the beginning. Just now go and discuss together over there with each other. Okay,